RAM is getting more and more expensive as the day goes by. Every time we turn around, the price goes up just a little bit more. Where two 16GB sticks of RAM used to cost less than $100. Now a single stick of 16GB DDR5 6000 is as low as $180. And it just goes up from there. But make no mistake, my friends, this is an artificial shortage. Prices for RAM didn't need to go up like this, but because of AI data centers and chip manufacturers like Micron choosing the almighty dollar, are no longer selling to RAM manufacturers for consumers. What everyone has been so affectionately calling the Rampocolypse is truly upon us. Hello all you wonderful gamers, VR divers, and hardware enthusiasts, and thank you for once again joining me on Weaver's Wonderful World. As always, I'm your host Ginsu Weaver, and in this video we will be discussing the Rampocolypse and what, if anything, we should do about it. First off, let's talk about why there's a RAM shortage to the point of prices rising to ungodly amounts. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and whatever company Elon Musk is putting it under are building hardware storehouses that hold a vast majority of not only RAM but GPUs and CPUs as well for AI data centers they want to build. Not that they can build all of them that they want to, seeing as the power consumption every data center they want to build would be astronomical and does not yet exist.
The biggest issue we are now having is not a compute glut, but it's a power, and it's sort of the ability to get the builds done fast enough close to power. So if you can't do that, you may actually have a bunch of chips sitting in inventory that I can't plug in. In fact, that is my problem today, right? It's not a supply issue of chips. It's actually the fact that I don't have warm shells to plug into. And so how some supply chain constraints emerge, tough to predict, because the demand is just going, is tough to predict, right? I mean, it's not like Sam and I would want to be sitting here saying, oh my God, we're less short on compute. It's because we just were not that good at being able to project out what the demand would really look like. So I think that's, and by the way, the worldwide side, right? It's one thing to sort of talk about one segment in one country, but it's about, really getting it out to everywhere in the world. And so there will be constraints, and how we work through them is going to be the most important thing. It won't be a linear path for sure.
So, because of corporate greed for more money that frankly they're not going to get, these companies have been investing in AI data centers that cannot be built yet. They've been investing in companies like OpenAI, who have been giving money to Nvidia and AMD, who in return have been giving money to Intel and CoreWave, who give money back to Microsoft and other investors. It's just a huge, complicated circle of passing the same amount of money around and around to each other, growing the bubble ever bigger and bigger until it will finally burst. And it's close to bursting already because the CEO of OpenAI has already said they were close to going bankrupt if they cannot secure more funding, to the point that they are now putting on advertisements for their lower paid tiers, which honestly is ridiculous. I 100% believe it should be illegal to put any kind of advertisement on anyone who is paying money for your service, especially if it is a monthly subscription. Put out a free tier and put all the advertisements you want on it, but leave the paid tiers alone. I'm looking at you, Amazon. Now, when the bubble bursts, there are some who think RAM prices will drop drastically. Unfortunately, that isn't going to happen. These companies will want to recoup costs somehow, and how do you think they're going to do that? Well, if you said push it over to the consumer to buy the hardware they can't use anymore, you'd be correct. These RAM prices aren't going anywhere, even if the AI bubble does burst, because greedy corpos will greedy corpo and make the consumer pay for their failures. But here's where a silver lining might be coming, if you can call it a silver lining. Chinese manufacturers seem to be discussing flooding the market with DDR5 RAM sticks. Now, I'm not sure how true this is because I can't find any sources for it, but a few people over in Europe have ordered RAM sticks from China. Not only is it cheaper than what we can get now, even with import costs, they said it looks nicer than any other RAM they've seen before. This was a PC builder from Germany going by the name of Shinobi on Reddit. They imported 32GB of DDR5 6000MHz RAM from a Chinese manufacturer, CXMT, for around €247. If Chinese manufacturers decide to flood the market with RAM, then we will definitely see the price drop significantly in the cost of RAM. If they decide to sell their chips to RAM manufacturers like Corsair, that would be even better because then the big three would have major losses and would need to pull their heads out of their collective butts or risk losing so much more money because of China. But what should we do in the meantime? Honestly, there isn't much that we can do at the moment. But what we can do in the future is easy. When this bubble bubble finally does burst, and these companies that thought screwing over their consumers was a good idea come crawling back to us begging for our money, tell them no. Vote with your wallets, make their billions of dollars in losses stick to where they all go bankrupt. Show them that without us, they are nothing. And to do this, we should be going to companies that haven't screwed over their customers, and honestly, I believe this is what Valve is trying to do with their Steam OS. They are giving us another option that those who aren't so tech savvy have an OS they can install and use more efficiently than Windows OS. I said it in my call to arms in my last video, but with Steam OS and KDE Plasma, we can fight back against these corporations that took billions of dollars from consumers and played stupid AI games with it, squandering the goodwill they had with us for more money that wasn't actually more money. A tech revolution needs to happen, and Valve may be the weapon we use to fight against corporations who said they don't need us anymore. Even if you don't want to move over to Steam, there are plenty of other user-friendly Linux OSs out there like Bazite, which closely resembles Steam OS. Both are Linux-based and both are meant for gaming, though Steam OS does have a dedicated team behind it making it better every day, but Bazite isn't anything to shake a stick at either. It's open source, community powered, and offers a lot of the same features as Steam OS. But I digress. Regardless of what you're looking for, Linux could easily have it for you, so let's step away from Microsoft, Nvidia, Meta, Micron, and any company feeding heavily into the AI bubble. Make sure when their money disappears, they can't come crawling back to us and expect us to bail them out of the predicament they put themselves in by also screwing us over and raising prices of hardware parts we need for our computers. That being said, we still need a hardware manufacturer, and honestly, even AMD giving them options to buy 160 million shares, AMD does seem like they would be the best option at the moment to get that hardware with GPUs and CPUs. While Asus is going in on AI and stopping the production of an ROG phone, they are still a good alternative for motherboards since they make a vast majority of them. If their production can ramp up after the AI bubble bursts, their motherboards and other hardware could be good to think about. Then there's Corsair. Yes, they are investing in AI as well, but not the same way everyone else is. Instead of trying to replace people, their AI model is to integrate features across gaming, content creation, and computing products. They are focusing on local AI as a tool to help improve performance and privacy instead of relying on cloud-based solutions, meaning they want it to be a tool for their consumers to utilize, making life easier. I've always loved Corsair products, and this seems to me to be how AI should work, and if their models are good and RAM and storage prices can come down, I can easily see Corsair being a new leader in future computing power once the AI bubble bursts. So join me in trying to move away from companies investing in AI data centers at the expense of their customer base so that when they finally lose billions, they can't come back to us and recoup their costs. Make them understand they won't get billions from us any longer, and hopefully one of two things will happen. They'll shutter their doors and never bother us again, or they will work their asses off to make sure crap like this AI bubble doesn't happen again. Honestly, there should be laws against what they're doing, and hopefully the next generation of lawmakers will do something about it. But right now, with the average age of our government being over 60, I doubt that will happen anytime soon. Well, that'll be it for this subject, but not the end of the discussion. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more like it. Currently, I'm trying to get this channel to 2,000 subscribers. I plan on doing more videos on flat screen games, VR games, maybe even mobile games as well, or at least games that are great for portable consoles like the Switch, Steam Deck, Legion Go, and ROG Ally. Don't expect me to review anything on the Switch 2. I'll never purchase one of those until Nintendo changes their anti-consumer practices. Also, leave a comment down below about your thoughts and feelings on the Rampocolypse and the hardware apocalypse for that matter, and keep the discussion going. As well, check out the description for links to my gaming channel, Weaver's Gaming, and links to my socials for any updates on videos and projects I'm producing, as well as shorts that link back to the gameplay footage I put out on my other channel. Also, head over to my Discord server from the link in the descriptions, and if you join there, we can talk about all things VR, video games, any hobbies you might be interested in, or maybe even play some multiplayer games together. But once again, thank you for joining me on Weaver's Wonderful World, and remember, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Bacon is the best breakfast food, so eat up, stay healthy, and I'll catch you gamers, VR divers, and hardware enthusiasts in the next video. Oorah!